guys, welcome to an episode of Trini Point of View. Well, today I'm going to check out Magnificent Seven. Now this movie, I had to say, is probably one of my favorite movies of the year. I came out of this only thinking about the director. That was like my main focus, Anton Fuqua. I have a list of films that he did here. For those of you who are not familiar, he was the director of The Replacement Killers, Bait, Training Day, Tears of the Sun, Shooter, Brooklyn's Finest, Olympus Has Fallen, Equalizer, Southpaw, and now Magnificent Seven. Now this movie, my biggest takeaway was the visual aspect. This movie was stunning. It was filmed. It wasn't a shaky camera movie, much like the action movies that you get nowadays. This was very much well thought out. This is a throwback to all the old time westerns. Everybody who was into westerns like Shane, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Bonanza days, those type of westerns, this is it. The added bonus for me was the score. The music of this movie is really, it's like a throwback to the 40s to 60s with the present day scores. It's a blend that is, it's unmistakable. This was really good. The list of actors is long. I have it here for you. Denzel Washington, well, he was the perfect lead. A lot of people back in those days, was the racial divide, but that was not mentioned at all in the movie. In the beginning, there was a scene where he came in, and I thought that was the problem when he walked into a bar. But then I realized what was going on. I realized that movie had nothing to do, and they did not address anything of the sort of race. So to me, that was like perfect, because that's one of the few things that is really just, it is upset me when a movie focuses too much on race when it doesn't have to. Chris Pratt in the movie, ignore my phone. Yeah, Chris Pratt in the movie. Chris Pratt was Chris Pratt. He was basically Star-Lord in the Western days, and he really brought something. His chemistry with Denzel Washington wasn't the best, even though those were the two main characters, but he really did what he was supposed to do, and he brought that comedic aspect. Just on Miss Helen. Yeah, so Chris Pratt was really himself, and I really enjoyed his character. I know Denzel was the main character in the movie, but Chris Pratt really competed. He was like 51% Denzel, 49% Chris Pratt. And then there was some other actors. We had Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke played, I haven't seen him in movies for a long time, and I couldn't help but smile every time he was on screen. He played, it was like a Western sniper version, and he had mental issues, something you could say like PTSD, where he doesn't want to kill anybody, but he owes Denzel Washington's character a favor. So, and not to mention his name is Goodnight. How could you not like someone's name or someone's character when their name is Goodnight? Like, come on, you can't get better than that. And Ethan Hawke playing a character named Goodnight, what more do you want? There was Vincent D'Onofrio. He played what in my mind I call the bear, because they made a joke about him because he's big like a bear. Yeah, he has a kind of funny voice in this movie, but you know what? He has a lovable character about him. He ended up dying to the end, and that was kind of sucky because I really wanted him to live. Maybe he could have got injured, but you know what? He did what he was supposed to do, and he played his role perfectly. He was a secondary character within the seven, but he did what he was supposed to do. There's this other guy, Byung-hun Lee. I think he was one of the ninjas from G.I. Joe. He did what he was supposed to do. His character was a likable character. He played, well, I guess, a Western assassin. So he really did what he was supposed to do. I appreciated him for that. He came into the movie as Ethan Hawke's partner. Two of them came together as a partnership. So once you wanted Ethan Hawke, you would have gotten the assassin. The other character, there was a Mexican and like a Cherokee kind of character, one of the old time Indians. But they both were side characters to Denzel and Chris Pratt, and even you could say Ethan Hawke. Another thing that I should mention is one of my takeaways though is probably the visual aspect. I can't get over that. This movie is going to go down as one of my favorite movies for the year, and I like westerns, but I'm not like a die-hard fan. So really, it got me excited when I didn't expect to be excited, especially after I watched Hateful Eight. I really had high hopes for Hateful Eight, but I was disappointed. So I kind of came off of the whole Western thing. I was like, you know what, Magnificent Seven is just going to repeat. It's going to let me down, to get hopes up. But I went in it with low expectations, and I come on it smiling, and that's all I could think about for the rest of the day. One of my, I want to say, letdowns is probably how fast they put together the 7 characters, because the 7 characters came together probably within like the second 15 minutes. I wouldn't say the second act, but the second 15 minutes of the movie, even before. And you could see how Denzel met Chris Pratt, but then they really just went around, and they just went around picking up people here and there. It really wasn't even supposed to be 7. He wanted Ethan Hawke's character. Ethan Hawke's character came with the assassin. They went for the bear, that's Vincent D'Onofrio's character, and on the way they met the Apache Cherokee kind of guy, and they end up just tagging along. The Mexican, I think he planned to meet up. No, he didn't plan to meet with the Mexican. He planned to meet with someone else, and the Mexican happened to be there, so he tagged along too, and that's how they met. So the chemistry with everyone, it was not 100% there, because I guess their background wasn't explained as much as we learned about Denzel and the little that we learned about Chris Pratt. So I would say that's probably like the weakest point of the movie. Even though I'm saying it's a weak point, it's still not a weak point. It was okay, because everybody in the movie had such pivotal roles that you got to like and appreciate them for what they were. Well, let's say what their role was supposed to be. So whatever their role was, they fulfilled their role. So I was satisfied with that. The action was reminiscent of our old time Western. I mean, you didn't have the pew pew, but everything was like perfect. The action set pieces at the end, it was really something. It was kind of amazing. Amazing is the only word I can think about it. It was straight out of our old time Western. Like 10 minutes of serious gun shooting, but at the same time it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like they tried to use any type of CGI. They didn't try to use any type of green screens. Everything felt natural. There was one part in the movie where Ethan Hawke, this was in the second act. This was their first encounter with the villain of the movie, and Ethan Hawke, he froze because he didn't want to shoot anybody, and he gave it like this kind of great kind of thing. And I don't know, that was like his demons in his head. He was trying to fight them off, and you could actually tell, like, that was like the old Ethan Hawke. That, I don't know, that was perfection. I don't know if he improvised on that scene or if that was Anton Fuqua's vision for what he wanted him to do. But that thing, it got me smiling, and at the same time I knew how serious, and I understood that it was something wrong with Ethan Hawke within that probably like 10 seconds or even 5 seconds. But at the same time, you appreciated Ethan Hawke's acting abilities just in that 5 seconds. The villain in the movie really wasn't much explained. It was a typical Western type villain, where villain comes from outside into a town. The town is probably like 75 people strong. He comes because he has gold. He wants the gold to mine. He kills a few people. The wife goes and she recruits Denzel. He recruits his other 6, and they come and they get rid of them. That's basically it. It is the classical Western story, but at the same time, from Anton Fuqua's point of view, it was done to perfection. I saw some reviews on it online after I came from the movies this morning, and not everybody is 100% loving it. But you know what? This movie is going right there with Civil War and BVS as some of my favorite movies. Are the BVS theatrical trailer. Not theatrical trailer, theatrical version. This is going there with some of my favorite movies of the year. So if I was you, definitely this is a movie to see in the cinema. This is not something to sit and wait for DVD. This is not something to download. This is something that you need to go and see in the cinema for yourself, because it is that type of spectacle movie where you should go and witness it for yourself. This is not for you to sit down and listen to your friends talk about it. If you're into westerns, if you're into Denzel, if you're into Chris Pratt, if you're into Vincent D'Onofrio, this is definitely a movie for you to go and see and be able to tell other people about it. It's that good of a movie. I I know my rating is going to be high for it, even though there are faults in the movie. Whereas that's why I spoke about like the background and how they introduce all the characters. But I'm giving this movie a solid 8, just because I think it's going to be one of my favorite movies for the year, and definitely I recommend everybody going to see it. Another thing I want to keep in mind, right now it is TNT's film festival, so definitely go down to Movie Town, check it out. They have little stuff for online. I got one of these little bands. It's just $85, and you never know who you could support when you get a T-shirt. Maybe you buy a book, maybe you buy one of these bands. You could support, and you'll get these local movies coming out. I can't wait to see The Cutlass and Basuri. I know Basuri is out. I just didn't get time to go and check it out because I really wanted to see Magnificent Seven first. But definitely go down, support local, and you know, just get one of these bands. I don't see why not. It's $85. You probably spend $85 on food anytime you go Movie Town. So support local. Alright guys, that was my review of Magnificent 7. Remember to hit that subscribe button, comment down below, and let me know what movies you guys are looking forward to for the rest of the year. Doctor Strange is coming out. You know, hopefully I get to do some reviews in the coming weeks. So thanks again for viewing. Later.